Welcome to your bite-sized news. We're fresh off the back of Trump's announcement. We've also got the culmination of big leaders from the East. And guess what? There's loads going on out there at the moment, but let's dive right in. Belgium has announced it will officially recognise the State of Palestine at the upcoming UN General Assembly. Foreign Minister Maxime Prevot said Belgium will also impose sanctions on Israel, including banning imports from West Bank settlements and possible legal action. The move aligns Belgium with countries like the UK, France, Canada and Australia as the war in Gaza continues and the humanitarian crisis worsens, with tens of thousands killed and hundreds of children dying from starvation. In Ukraine, the suspected killer of far-right politician Andrei Parubi has denied working for Russia, insisting the assassination was an act of personal revenge. Parubi, a controversial MP known for his ultra-nationalist views, was gunned down in Lviv on Saturday. The suspect, 52-year-old Mikhail Stelenskov, admitted to the killing but said he bore no specific grudge against Parubi and rejected claims of Russian involvement. Ukrainian officials, however, continue to investigate possible ties to Moscow. The US House Oversight Committee has released the first batch of the so-called Epstein files, more than 33,000 pages linked to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Chairman James Comer subpoenaed the documents after the FBI and Justice Department said Epstein kept no client list. Democrats and some Republicans have accused President Trump of a cover-up, while Comer has promised full transparency and pledged to release more files soon. Epstein died in a New York jail in 2019 while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. President Trump says the US military carried out a strike on a drug-carrying vessel in Venezuela, killing 11 members of the Tren de Agua cartel. The operation took place in international waters in the southern Caribbean, targeting narcotics bound for the United States. Trump shared a video of the boat engulfed in flames and warned that the strike signals a zero-tolerance approach to drug trafficking. No US forces were harmed, and the move comes amid heightened US pressure on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. And our biggest story of the day, President Trump's big speech. He's announced the US Space Command has chosen Huntsville, Alabama as its permanent headquarters. After years of review, officials say the city stood out for its military readiness, strategic location and cost efficiency. Already home to Redstone Arsenal and a skilled aerospace workforce, Huntsville beat out several competitors. Supporters, including President Trump and Alabama lawmakers, say the move will save nearly $500 million and strengthen national defense. Local leaders are celebrating what they call a major victory for Alabama and for America's future in space. In the UK, free speech is under heavy scrutiny, with data showing up to 30 people arrested daily for online posts, retweets or cartoons. Laws written long before social media allow authorities to charge citizens for grossly offensive or menacing content. Cases range from private WhatsApp messages to minor social media posts, leaving ordinary people like a Chester businesswoman detained for 36 hours over a post she had deleted. Critics warn the crackdown is sweeping and unprecedented, sparking fears over civil liberties. Italian dock workers have warned they could block all shipments from Israel if a humanitarian flotilla to Gaza loses contact while at sea. The global Sumud flotilla, carrying aid and over 300 crew, including activists, set sail from Barcelona and Genoa to challenge Israel's blockade. A union representative said even a 20-minute loss of communication would trigger a European-wide port shutdown, halting thousands of containers bound for Israel. The mission comes as Gaza faces a worsening humanitarian crisis, with UN agencies warning of famine conditions. And my final story of the day, Europe has just lost its gas lifeline. Russia, China and Mongolia have signed a binding deal for the Power of Siberia 2 pipeline, a $13.6 billion project that will redirect 50 billion cubic meters of gas each year from Siberia to northern China. For decades, this supply powered German industry and the wider EU. Now it's being hardwired east. The agreement not only shifts global energy flows, but marks the end of Europe's era of cheap Russian gas, while cementing Beijing as Moscow's new anchor customer. And that was your bite-sized news. on Wednesday, the 3rd of September 2025. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you over on Brooker.tv, where all my content is. So take care, God bless, see you all soon. Bye now.